Chapter 1. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a wise old man named Samuel. Samuel was known throughout the village for his wisdom and his ability to inspire and motivate people. People from far and wide would come to seek his advice and guidance. One day, a young man named Jack approached Samuel with a question that had been troubling him for a long time. He said, "Samuel, I often find myself procrastinating and wasting a lot of time. I want to be more productive and achieve my goals, but I just can't seem to get myself to work consistently. Can you help me?" Samuel smiled and invited Jack to sit with him. He then told Jack a story. Many years ago, there was a kingdom ruled by a wise and just king. One day, the king decided to test the loyalty and dedication of his subjects. He announced a competition, and the challenge was simple. He placed a large boulder in the middle of the main road and declared that anyone who could move the boulder would be rewarded handsomely. The news of the competition spread like wildfire, and people from all corners of the kingdom came to try their luck. They pushed and pulled, and some even used ropes and carts, but no one could move the massive boulder an inch. Days turned into weeks, and still, no one succeeded. Many gave up, exhausted and disheartened, but one young man named Jason was determined to win the prize. He visited the boulder every day and gave his all. But it seemed like an impossible task. One day, as Jason was pushing with all his might, a wise old man passing by stopped to watch. He asked Jason, "Why do you keep trying when so many have failed? What makes you think you can move this boulder?" Jason replied, "I know I may not be able to move the boulder today or tomorrow, but I believe that with every push, I'm getting stronger. Even if I don't succeed, I will have developed the strength and determination to face any challenge that comes my way in the future." The wise old man smiled and said, "You have understood the true value of time and effort, my son. It's not just about the end result, but the journey and the growth that it brings." Jason continued to push the boulder day after day, and one fine morning, with a tremendous effort, he managed to move it just a little. Over time, he kept pushing, and gradually, the boulder moved farther and farther until he finally rolled it off the road. The king was true to his word and rewarded Jason handsomely. But more importantly, Jason had learned the most valuable lesson of his life, that the true value of time and effort lies not just in achieving the end goal, but in the personal growth, determination, and strength that one gains along the way. Samuel concluded the story and looked at Jack, saying, "Jack, the best way to overcome procrastination and make the most of your time is to remember the story of Jason. Focus on your journey, your personal growth, and the small steps you take each day towards your goals. Time is a precious gift, and how you use it determines the value it holds in your life." Jack left Samuel's home that day with a newfound determination and a deep understanding of the true value of time and effort. He knew that by embracing the journey and consistently putting in the effort, he could achieve anything he set his mind to. Chapter 2. In a small village, there lived a gentleman named Andrew. Andrew was known far and wide for his wisdom and the valuable lessons he shared with the villagers. One sunny morning, a young man named Harry approached Andrew, seeking guidance. "Andrew," Harry said, "I'm constantly struggling to make the most of my time. I feel like I'm always chasing after something, but I never seem to achieve my goals. Can you teach me the value of time and how to make the best use of it?" Andrew smiled and gestured for Harry to follow him. They walked towards a nearby riverbank, where Andrew had prepared a small lesson. Andrew handed Harry a pebble and said, "Harry, hold this pebble and keep it with you throughout the day. At the end of the day, return to this spot, and I will share with you the lesson you seek." Harry was puzzled, but agreed to Andrew's request. He carefully held the pebble and went about his day, constantly aware of the pebble in his hand. As the day wore on, Harry grew impatient. He wondered what the significance of this exercise was and why Andrew had asked him to do it. Finally, as the sun began to set, Harry returned to the riverbank, where Andrew was waiting. He handed the pebble back to Andrew and asked, "I've carried this pebble all day, but I don't understand its significance. What does it teach me about the value of time?" Andrew smiled again and said, "Harry, the pebble you held in your hand today is like time. It's a precious resource that you carry with you every day. Just as you were aware of the pebble in your hand throughout the day, you should always be aware of the time you have. Time, like the pebble, is slipping away, and once it's gone, you can never get it back." Harry realized the profound lesson Andrew was imparting. He had been so focused on his daily tasks and pursuits that he had lost sight of the value of each moment. Andrew continued, "To make the best use of your time, prioritize what truly matters to you. Focus on your goals and dreams, and don't let distractions steal your time away. Remember, just as you returned the pebble to me, at the end of the day, one day, you will return your time to the universe. Make sure you have used it wisely." Harry left that day with a newfound understanding of the value of time. He learned that time, like the pebble, should be held close and cherished. From that day forward, he became more mindful of how he spent his time, focusing on his goals and dreams with determination and purpose. The story of Harry and the pebble serves as a timeless reminder that the value of time cannot be underestimated. It is a resource that, once lost, can never be recovered. Therefore, we must use it wisely and purposefully to achieve our dreams and make a meaningful impact on our lives and the lives of others. Chapter 3. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among rolling hills, there lived a wise named Martin. He spent his days teaching the villagers about the importance of time and how it could shape their lives. One day, a curious young boy named Arjun approached Martin and asked, "Why do you always talk about the value of time, Grandpa Martin? What's so special about it?" Martin smiled warmly at Arjun and said, "Let me tell you a story, my dear boy. Once, in this very village, there were two friends, Ravi and Anil. They were similar in every way, except for one thing, their perception of time. Ravi was known for his punctuality and diligence. He believed in making the most of every moment. He would wake up early, work hard on his farm, and invest his spare time in learning new skills. He was disciplined and committed to his goals. On the other hand, Anil was a procrastinator. He would always put off his tasks for tomorrow. He believed that he had plenty of time to achieve his dreams. He spent his days idly, enjoying the present without thinking about the future. Years passed, and one day, a severe drought hit the village. Crops withered, and the villagers struggled to find enough food to survive. Ravi's hard work and discipline paid off. He had stored enough food and water to sustain his family during the difficult times. Anil, however, found himself in a dire situation. He regretted not taking time seriously. With empty hands, he turned to Ravi for help. Ravi, being the kind-hearted soul that he was, shared his resources with Anil and helped him get through the tough times. Anil was deeply grateful, but also regretful for squandering so much time. Martin paused and looked at Arjun, who was listening intently. He continued, "Arjun, the story of Ravi and Anil teaches us that time is our most valuable resource. Like Ravi, we must value each moment and use it wisely to build a better future. We cannot afford to procrastinate or waste time, for we never know when challenges will come our way." Arjun nodded in understanding and realized the profound wisdom in Martin's words. From that day forward, he became diligent and purposeful in how he spent his time, understanding that the value of time lay not in its quantity, but in its quality. The village continued to thrive, and Martin's teachings about the value of time echoed in the hearts of the villagers. They, too, began to understand that time, once lost, could never be regained. They learned to seize each moment, work towards their goals, and cherish the present while building a better future. And so, in that small village, the legacy of Martin's wisdom and the lesson of the value of time live on, reminding everyone that time, indeed, was the most precious treasure they possessed.